everyone, and welcome back to the show. We are here today with our second Cabral HouseCall of the weekend, hopefully answering as many of our community's questions as possible today, just like we do every single weekend. Really love being able to see what the community is writing in about, and if I'm able to help in maybe even some small way. We're looking at wellness, weight loss, anti-aging topics, and really it's a beautiful community. People are writing in all the time for themselves, for their family members, loved ones, you name it, just everybody trying to look for answers for themselves and for family, as I said, but through a much more natural methodology. And that's, of course, what we're all about. We're not going to provide disease diagnosis. We're not going to provide medical-based protocols. What we're going to do is we're going to help you get to the underlying root cause. Like, what is the real toxicity issue or deficiency issue that your body's dealing with, that if you were able to replace those deficiencies and you were able to remove those toxicities, that your body would begin to rebalance itself. So my job is to help you put your body in the position to heal. That is what we do as natural health-based practitioners. So looking forward to answering more of these questions. Every Saturday, we do 6 questions. Every Sunday, we answer 6 questions as well. And what I'd like to do right now is share with you the episode number. So if you go to stephencabral.com/1878, then you'll be able to read along with the questions. stephencabral.com/1878. All right, first question today. It's coming in from February 15th, which means, yeah, we're looking like we're about 6 weeks behind. That's pretty typical for us. Just everybody in the queue, obviously first come, first serve basis. So first question on April, February 15th, we are answering this from Ryan. Okay, Ryan says, "Hi, Dr. Ball. I've been using olive oil as my main fat source for a few months now, and from what I can tell, it's been doing great. I'm a 30-year-old competitive bodybuilder, currently in my off-season, so my calories are high. I'm 6 feet and currently weigh 230. I track my macros every day and usually end up with around 4,500 calories. My fat intake is higher than most bodybuilders do, which is around 150 grams a day. My carbs are usually around 450. My protein is 275. My friend and roommate just died at 26 of what looks like a heart attack, and he was a bodybuilder as well. This has opened my eyes a lot, and I want to do things as healthy as I can. My body seems to be handling the quantity of olive oil, but I just want to be sure. If I had to guess, it's around 10 tablespoons spread out through the day. Thank you for your time and love this podcast." Ryan, appreciate that. And I'm so sorry to hear about your roommate, which is just, terrible, dying at 26. I'll tell you this, although there's always possibility for anything to happen, right? To die at 26 of a heart attack, there is typically a congenital defect that was not known with the heart, and it was placed under stress, and just people just did not know about it. Or, again, I'm not saying anything about your roommate, or it's from some type of drugs that were being used. So there are many bodybuilding drugs that are not great for the body, starting to stack things like insulin in the body, which a lot of bodybuilders do with growth hormone. HGH and insulin is a pretty typical stack, not very healthy. And then, of course, there are street drugs as well. And again, I'm not saying that your roommate did this, but I just want people to know, dying of a heart attack at 26 is not normal or typical or any of those things, especially, or I should say, even if you're overweight and not eating a great diet. But what I want to do is help you be as healthy as possible. Now, keep in mind, bodybuilding itself is not necessarily natural or all that healthy for the body. And, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. Like that's the thing. I just want people to know, it's not natural to do a lot of things, but we do them. And especially, you're 30 years old. And so, you're at a good age. You can certainly be doing this for a bit longer as well. But when you consume 4,500 calories a day, it's just a lot of stress in the body. That's a lot of oxidative stress. It's a lot of digestive work. Your body has to break all of that down. It has to be able to use it. And of course, you need to be able to maintain that muscle, and you have to get through your workouts. So, that's of course your choice. I was there myself. My macros looked very similar to yours. Very, very similar to yours when I was bodybuilding in my natural bodybuilding, I should say, in my 20s. And I didn't do that past 26 years old, really, and 25, 26. And, I'm only 5'8", but I got up to about 200 pounds, and I was eating about 5,000 or more calories per day, and I was doing way more fat than you're doing too. However, the fat I was eating was not as healthy. Now, I was doing some MCT oil before MCT oil was even popular, because it was popular with bodybuilders back then. But if you're doing 10 tablespoons of olive oil spread throughout the day, that's not that much olive oil. Meaning, I'm not saying everybody should do that, but let's say it's 3 tablespoons per meal. You're getting 360 calories at each meal from olive oil. And that's about 36 grams of fat per meal from olive oil. So it's certainly not too much. It's a monounsaturated fat. Again, I can't give you medical advice, but I'd have no issue with this. I mean, I eat 2 to 3 tablespoons times 2 meals a day. And I'm not on a high fat diet. I'm not on a bodybuilding routine at all. Of course, I'm, I weigh 35 pounds less than I used to, but I am healthier, right? So like at some point you'll probably choose that as well. And then that's okay too. It's all good. You can decide to be 6 feet, 200 pounds, lean and feeling good and all that. But there's nothing wrong with bodybuilding. I never competed. I was about to compete. I tore my brachioradialis, and that was the end of that. And so I just took it as a sign to start to get my body back in, I don't know, a different type of shape. But no, I love bodybuilding, and I totally support it. I really do. It's a science of what you can do with your body. All right, next up is Stephanie. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I am writing in about my 12-year-old son who frequently gets canker sores. I have listened to some of your podcasts regarding canker sores, and I'm still unsure of what to do with him. His doctor had him on 30 milligrams of zinc and B6 daily for the past couple of years because of pyrrolysis disorder. I also supplement him with 2,000 milligrams of vitamin D and B12 every other day. About 2 times a week, I have him taking 500 milligrams of L-lysine, and he still gets the canker sores. He did the oat test and parasite test a year ago, and everything looked good. Wondering what you suggest trying next. Thanks. All right, this is a great question, and I can definitely help you out with this. So there's a couple things that might be wrong. Here's what I recommend. He's getting canker sores, and I know that you're doing the right things by the book. Here's the issue. The body doesn't always react. The body, you're an individual, and your son is an individual. What I would do is this. I would actually stop all nutritional supplements for 2 weeks. It's not the end of the world. He's only 12 years old, and there's no disease state that I know of. So we're stopping for 2 weeks, because we can always go back. And if the canker sores go away, there's something in one of these products that could be causing it. So let me just give you a little aside. My youngest daughter never gets canker sores. My oldest daughter gets canker sores. Why does my oldest daughter get canker sores? She gets canker sores when something is too acidic in her mouth. That's it. It's local. She doesn't have, I run her labs, things are good, right? So believe it or not, some supplements for her, and I don't want to sway what you're doing right now, there's a couple supplements for her that not the first time, but over the course of a week, me giving her those. Let me just give you one, for example. My youngest daughter has no issues with it. But if we do a liquid ascorbic acid, which is how a lot of kids' liquid vitamin C is, she gets a canker sore. Is ascorbic acid acidic in the mouth? 100%. Absolutely. Is it still good for the body? Yes, but not for my daughter in her mouth like that. So she could take ascorbic acid if she wanted to in a capsule form, which she gets vitamin C every single day, but she can't get it in a liquid. She also gets canker sores very specifically from 2 other foods. One is lemon and the other is pineapple. So what do? Well, she doesn't eat pineapple by itself. She can have it mixed inside of a smoothie or smoothie bowl. And she doesn't drink lemon water by itself. That's it. So again, sometimes these things are, that was not like, I didn't figure this out overnight. I figured it out by process of elimination. So I eliminated my daughter's nutritional supplements, and then I started to add them in one by one. And my daughter takes her nutritional supplement routine, which is pretty standard, but slightly different than for my younger daughter, because my oldest daughter, her report actually showed that she needed a little bit more iron for her. So, and you can't do that with every 8-year-old. You have to know. And so she's taking iron, which is a little different than her. So there you are. I would eliminate first, because the products you're on look pretty good, but eliminate first, then add them back one at a time for a week, 3 to 5 days, 5 days the minimum, and then just start to work them in. And you probably don't need the L-lysine because the L-lysine is trying to take care of the canker sores, but the canker sores might be caused by a food. So you want to look at acidic foods in the mouth, such as tomatoes or pineapples or lemon or citrus, any acidic-based food in the mouth, because that's what it could be. But again, maybe it's not. We don't know. We got to check this out. We have got to figure out exactly what it is. So I can't give you exactly what it is, but hopefully that at least gives your mind a little place to get started, what to think about, and then go from there. All right, Marlene's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. Oh, sorry. That's the next question. Marlene says, hi, Doc. What would your recommendations be for someone with high testosterone, no PCOS? Okay. Work with a lot of women, Pitta-based women, who have higher levels of testosterone. So the way that we help with testosterone is, well, twofold. One is typically Pitta women, Pitta men, I have a Pitta-based mentality. Like my mind is Pitta, my body isn't necessarily Pitta, but I typically run higher testosterone, higher dopamine, and now that my body's fixed, I can run higher cortisol. I definitely run higher norepinephrine or epinephrine. So what you do is you calm the nervous system so that you're not always in the red zone, the charge zone. So my favorite products are magnesium and Adrenal Soothe. Okay, those are two of my favorite. It will not cause you to have low testosterone. It's just the contrary. In people that have low testosterone, let's say men, women too, because I know that this is from a female. So what happens is when your body gets really stressed and produces high levels of cortisol, in many people, it starts to shut down the sex hormones. So they get lower levels of progesterone for women and testosterone for men or women and DHEA. So Adrenal Soothe is a true adaptogen. It can help on both sides. Magnesium, amazing product for calming the central nervous system. For women as well, if it really is high, like it's too high, but you said you have no PCOS, we have to just ask ourselves, are we okay with that level of testosterone? Because if it's not causing any PCOS issues and it's not causing any hair growth or acne, then it just might be okay. But if you don't like it, there's also another product called TestoQuench that you can search at equa.life. It's not an Equalife product, but we carry more products than just Equalife because, again, Equalife and my practice is about being all-encompassing. And so we carry the best of the best. So you can find that right over at Equalife as well. All right. So there you go. Daily Foundation Protocol, plus the Adrenal Soothe, plus the full spectrum magnesium, plus the TestoQuench if you would like. Simon is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I have started drinking a large glass of water with 1/4 of a teaspoon of Celtic Sea Salt as soon as I wake up in the morning. However, I haven't been including lemon juice for a number of reasons, including logistics and not wanting to break my fast as I don't have my shake for a few hours later to meet my 13-hour fast. Is it beneficial having Celtic Sea Salt on its own or missing the potassium in lemon juice? Will I be upsetting my electrolyte balance longer term? All right, we actually have two questions here. Great question, Simon. Lemon juice is not going to break your fast. I just want to repeat that. Lemon juice is not going to break your fast. So that's the good news. So you can do lemon juice with your sea salt. You don't have to worry about it at all. So I don't even know if that's the answer to the other one, but there are many people that run lower blood pressure and lower adrenal output that would not want to do the lemon or lime. They would just want to do the Celtic Sea Salt because they would want to increase blood pressure a bit. And the sea salt also helps the adrenals as well because it helps with it doesn't help with aldosterone, but in a roundabout kind of way, we talked about the feedback loop for the brain and it helps with that. So there you have it. Lemon, fresh squeezed lemon or lime is not going to break your fast. Megan's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. Thank you for all you do. I have learned so much and plan on continuing my education through your classes. My question is about my 7-year-old son. His gastroenterologist thinks he might have cyclic vomiting syndrome. All I have found on this is that there is no cause. What do you think? Are there any labs that I could run for him? I can't believe it, except that there isn't a cause or some sort of treatment for it. Thank you. All right, Megan, first of all, there's a cause for everything. There's a cause for everything. There is a cause for everything. The person you're working with, again, they can be absolutely brilliant. They just don't know the cause for cyclic vomiting. Cyclic vomiting, by the way, is just unexplained vomiting. Like that's really it. We just give it a fun name. Cyclic vomiting syndrome, right? It's just a name. When I had Addison's disease, it's just a name. It was named after Dr. Addisons. That's it. So what I want to share with you is this. If you go to stephencabral.com/podcast and we type in cyclic vomiting, you'll see that on October 28th of 2017, I did a show on cyclic vomiting. I have no idea what I said on that show, but I bet it was something like this. I'm going to give you another answer, right? That cyclic vomiting can be caused by H. pylori in the stomach. It can be caused by poor food combining. It can be caused by low stomach acid and more of a fermentable stomach and gut. It can be caused by weak lower esophageal sphincter muscles. It can be caused by a hiatal hernia. What else could it be caused by? It could be caused by yeast and other bacteria in the gut as well. So what I would do is I would run the Candida metabolic and vitamins test, as well as the bacteria and parasite stool test. You can find both of those at Equilife, and yes, they can be done with 7-year-olds. From there, we'll be able to get your son not on a treatment protocol, but a rebalancing protocol that will help to work on whatever those issues are with the gut. Plus, I mean, you can run the other labs, which I do recommend, like the minerals and metals test, but we'll begin to rebalance that as well, for sure. Yes. So there you have it, Megan, that there is a digestive issue going on. High, low stomach acid, most likely low. H. pylori, potentially. Lower esophageal sphincter issues, potentially. And so we'll be able to, I think that we'll be able to figure this out. There's no guarantees in life, but for sure there's a cause. For sure there's a cause, and if there's a cause, there's an answer, all right? So keep hope alive. No doubt about it. Your son, he's going to get well. No doubt about it. We'll figure this one out. Last question of the day. It's from Robert. Robert says, hey, doc, absolutely love your work. I'm trying to work on my histamine issues in various different ways. Staying away from foods high in histamines, taking my daily nutritional support, balanced zinc, omegas, vitamin D, and B complex every day. I've done numerous detoxes in CBO, the CBO finisher, etc. I've done the parasite protocol as well as the heavy metal detox. It doesn't seem like it's getting better, which is frustrating. I still react massively. I can't even have a little piece of dark chocolate or avocado without breaking out or scratching myself all night. My questions are, I know you had massive histamine issues when you were younger. How long did it take to heal? Does exercise increase histamines? Every time I work out, I get more itchiness on my skin. I'm 23 now. When I was younger, I didn't have any histamine issues whatsoever. How come my son only got it? Great question, great question, great question. And yes, I was as bad as I've ever seen in terms of histamines. Like, I mean, and I don't wear that as a badge of honor. I don't have it anymore. But I'll tell you, like, in the background behind all of this, I don't do great with histamines. Now, to go to your question, I can have a glass of red wine and I'll be fine. I can have dark chocolates. I'll be fine. I can have curry and I'll be fine. The problem is I just can't do that over and over and over, because then my histamine issues will be there, because it is in my genetics. So I just have to know my genetics, but I've also healed my body. Your issue is what? The rain barrel effect, right? So your rain barrel got full. Now your job is to say, how do I empty the rain barrel? And you've done a great job. So by the way, give yourself credit. You've done so many great protocols, and there's no doubt about it. Your body, I'm sure, is doing a lot better overall, but you're still dealing with this histamine issue. So we want to look at it this way. I want to make sure that your Th1 to Th2 immune system is balanced. The only way I got rid of my allergies, my hives, all my histamine-based issues was being able to balance to a better degree my Th1, Th2 immune system. Now, keep in mind, typically from a young age, we're more predisposed to 1. I'm more predisposed to Th2. My wife is more predisposed to Th1. My wife never gets sick, ever gets sick. But if she doesn't follow a healthy lifestyle, she'll be more prone to certain autoimmune specific issues. For me, I am more prone to all of the sensitivities, right? As a Th2, very, very sensitive individual. And so we have to watch for that. Now, here's the thing. We need to empty your rain barrel from histamines. So for a period of time, we need to relax on this, because every time you stress your body, you're stressing that TH2 side of it, which is chronic stress. So we want to look at it this way. You do want to exercise, but believe me, even high heat can cause a histamine response, okay? Hard exercise causes a histamine response. So you're right in that area. So you want to be gentle with your body. Meditation, magnesium, adrenal soothe, all of these things are calming for the body. But I want to give you one more tip. Sometimes certain herbs will affect your histamine levels, meaning you may or may not be able to use the adrenal soothe. You'll also want to see, like, are you doing okay with the omega-3s? Typically, most people are. But if you were to take out the omega-3s, would you have less histamine issues? Now, the trick is this. You need omega-3s to balance omega-6 to omega-3s, because if you don't, then you'll have typically higher levels of histamine, because EPA, which is one of those great omega-3s for you, actually helps modulate histamine and prostaglandin release as well. So really, we need to look at more of a Mediterranean diet, calming the body, and working on that TH1, TH2 immune balance. Quercetin is another great one. Stinging nettles. I used by the way, Robert, just to let you know, I use Hist Pro to this day. So you can go to Equilife. I use vitamin C. I use Hist Pro. I use zinc every day. And those are amazing products for continuing to keep that immune system balanced and not have my body overreact to histamines as well. Inside of Hist Pro, best product, in my opinion, on the market, you'll find the quercetin. Well, I'll let you check it out, the stinging nettles, etc. So that's over at equi.life. And hopefully that was helpful. I know, again, you'll find your answer as well, Robert. It does take some time. It doesn't get your TH1, TH2 immune imbalance, does not necessarily get rebalanced within just a couple of months. Keep working on it. Keep getting there. You will get there. You will succeed. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning into today's show. And don't forget to tune back in tomorrow for another Mindset and Motivation Monday podcast, a great way to start your week.